Have you ever wondered what it's like to be among the ultra-wealthy in a country where discretion is an art form? Welcome to the enigmatic world of Japan's super-rich, where tradition meets extravagance in ways you've never imagined. Prepare to uncover the hidden lives of Japan's elite, where wealth whispers instead of shouts, and luxury takes on a whole new meaning. Did you know that Japan is home to over 3 million millionaires? But that's just the tip of the iceberg. What we're about to reveal will change everything you thought you knew about wealth in the land of the rising sun. In a country known for its egalitarian ethos, the super-rich navigate a complex landscape of cultural expectations and modern ambitions. Their world is a fascinating blend of ancient traditions and cutting-edge innovations, where the line between old money and new fortunes blurs in unexpected ways. Let's start our journey by peeling back the layers of history that shaped Japan's modern-day elite. The roots of Japan's wealth go deep, intertwining with centuries of tradition and a rapid post-war economic miracle. While old money families trace their lineage back to the Meiji Restoration, a new breed of self-made billionaires has emerged from Japan's tech and retail revolutions. The story of Japan's wealthy elite begins in the late 19th century with the Meiji Restoration. This period saw the rise of powerful family-owned conglomerates known as zaibatsu. Names like Mitsubishi, Mitsui, and Sumitomo became synonymous with wealth and influence. These families laid the foundation for what would become Japan's old money class. But the landscape of wealth in Japan was forever changed by World War II and its aftermath. The American occupation saw the dismantling of the zaibatsu system, paving the way for a new economic order. What followed was nothing short of miraculous. Japan's rapid economic growth from the 1950s to the 1980s created a new generation of wealthy individuals and families. But here's where it gets interesting. Unlike their Western counterparts, Japan's rich have perfected the art of invisible affluence. You're about to discover a world where the wealthiest man in the room might be wearing the most understated suit. This cultural preference for discretion has its roots in traditional Japanese values of humility and harmony, as well as the social expectation that wealth should not be flaunted. Now, let's dive into the profiles of Japan's wealthy elite. You might be surprised to learn that while inheritance plays a significant role, Japan has seen a surge in self-made millionaires and billionaires. But for every flamboyant success story, there are dozens of ultra-wealthy individuals you've never heard of. And that's exactly how they like it. Take, for instance, the Saji family, heirs to the Suntory beverage empire. Despite controlling one of Japan's largest distillers and brewers, they maintain a remarkably low profile, epitomizing the discreet nature of old money in Japan. Now let's talk about lifestyle. Forget everything you know about how the rich live. In Japan, it's a whole different ballgame. The super-rich here have elevated discretion to an art form. You won't see flashy cars or oversized mansions. Instead, the real markers of wealth are much more subtle. Imagine owning a $10 million home that looks modest from the outside but hides an interior that would make a shogun envious. These homes, often located in Tokyo's most exclusive neighborhoods like Minato or Shibuya, blend seamlessly with their surroundings. But step inside, and you'll find yourself in a world of rare woods, hand-painted silk screens, and state-of-the-art home automation systems. Or picture wearing a simple-looking watch that costs more than most cars. Japan's wealthy have a penchant for understated luxury. A Creeder Spring Drive minute repeater, for instance, might look like a simple dress watch to the untrained eye. But at over $200,000, it represents the pinnacle of Japanese watchmaking. This is the reality of Japan's ultra-wealthy. They don't just spend money, they curate experiences. Private tea ceremonies conducted by living national treasures, exclusive viewing parties for cherry blossoms in unadvertised locations, or commissioning works from the most renowned artisans. These are the true luxuries that money can buy in Japan. But that's not all. The next revelation will truly surprise you. You see, for Japan's elite, true luxury isn't about what you own, it's about what you know. Exclusive knowledge is the ultimate status symbol. We're talking about private clubs where membership is by invitation only, and even money can't buy your way in. These are places where business deals are sealed over rare whiskey and ancient tea ceremonies. One such place is the Roppongi Hills Club, perched atop one of Tokyo's most iconic skyscrapers. But even this well-known haven of luxury pales in comparison to the truly exclusive circles of Japan's ultra-wealthy. There are clubs so secretive that their very existence is only known to a select few. Imagine a place where captains of industry mingle with imperial family members, all under the veil of utmost discretion. Speaking of unique indulgences, let's explore some of the most eccentric habits of Japan's super rich. Buckle up. Ever heard of custom-made handcrafted ice cubes for high-end whiskey? That's right. Some of Japan's wealthiest individuals employ artisans whose sole job is to carve perfectly clear, slow-melting ice spheres for their drinks. These aren't just any ice cubes. They're made from water sourced from specific wells in Japan, purified through traditional methods, and shaped with the precision of a master sculptor. It's a level of attention to detail that borders on obsession. But wait, there's more. How about owning a private kabuki theater? Some of Japan's billionaires have taken their love for traditional arts to the extreme, building miniature kabuki stages in their homes for private performances. These aren't just replicas. They're fully functional theaters, complete with trapdoors, revolving stages, and seating for a select group of guests. It's a fusion of wealth and culture that you won't find anywhere else in the world. And here's a tidbit that will blow your mind. There's a growing trend among Japan's ultra-rich to collect rare, antique bonsai trees. We're talking about living art pieces that are hundreds of years old, sometimes costing millions of dollars. The Tokugawa bonsai collection, for instance, includes trees that have been carefully tended for over 500 years. Owning such a tree isn't just a display of wealth. It's a commitment to preserving a piece of living history. It's a hobby that requires not just wealth, but also patience and a deep appreciation for Japanese aesthetics. Now, let's talk about the exclusive hangouts of Japan's elite. Forget Roppongi or Ginza. The real high society gatherings happen in places you've never heard of. There are members-only ryokans, traditional inns, in the Japanese Alps, where CEOs and old money families retreat for ultimate privacy. These places are so exclusive that even knowing their names is a sign of status. One such place is the Gora Kaden in Hakone, a former imperial retreat turned ultra-luxury ryokan. But even this well-known gem pales in comparison to the truly exclusive retreats favored by Japan's billionaires. Imagine private islands in the Seto Inland Sea, accessible only by helicopter, where the wealthy can escape the pressures of public life in complete seclusion. But the exclusivity doesn't stop there. Imagine private bullet train cars, decorated like luxurious living rooms, whisking the ultra-wealthy to secluded hot spring resorts. Or picture invite-only sushi restaurants where master chefs prepare once-in-a-lifetime meals using ingredients flown in from all over the world. There's a famous sushi restaurant in Ginza, where securing a reservation is said to be harder than buying a ticket to the moon. Its owner serves just a handful of guests each night, creating edible masterpieces that are as much about art as they are about food. Now you might be wondering, how do they prepare the next generation to handle such immense wealth and responsibility? Well, that's where things get really fascinating. Education for the children of Japan's super rich is a blend of old and new, East and West. Many attend elite international schools in Tokyo, rubbing shoulders with the offspring of diplomats and global business leaders. Schools like the American School in Japan or St. Mary's International School provide world-class education with an international perspective. But that's just the beginning. Here's something few people know. Some wealthy Japanese families send their children to special etiquette schools where they learn not just proper manners, but also the art of tea ceremony, calligraphy, and even how to wear a kimono properly. These schools, like the renowned Ogasawara Ryu, have been teaching traditional etiquette for centuries. It's an education in being Japanese elite that money alone can't buy. Moreover, many of Japan's wealthy families still practice the tradition of sending their children to live and study abroad, often in the United States or Europe. This exposure to different cultures is seen as crucial for developing the global mindset needed to lead international businesses. But perhaps the most intriguing aspect of wealth in Japan is how it intersects with society at large. You see, In a culture that values harmony and group consensus, being ultra-rich comes with unique challenges. Philanthropy in Japan takes on a different flavor than in the West. Instead of splashy donations and galas, many of Japan's wealthy prefer to give anonymously. They fund everything from disaster relief to preserving traditional arts, often without any public recognition. It's an approach to giving that reflects the Japanese saying, "The nail that sticks out gets hammered down." Before we reveal the next fascinating aspect of Japan's ultra-wealthy, we want to know, which of these discoveries has surprised you the most so far? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more captivating content like this. Now, get ready to learn about the unique challenges facing Japan's super-rich in the 21st century. Japan's wealthy are facing a rapidly aging society and a shrinking domestic market. This demographic shift poses unique challenges. With fewer young consumers, many businesses are forced to look beyond Japan's borders for growth. This has led to a new wave of outward-looking business strategies. Many are investing heavily in Southeast Asia and beyond, seeking to recreate Japan's post-war economic miracle in new markets. The country's low birth rate also means that there are fewer heirs to take over family businesses. This has led to an interesting trend where some of Japan's wealthiest individuals are adopting adult heirs to ensure their business legacies continue. It's a practice that blends modern business needs with the ancient Japanese tradition of adult adoption. But here's a twist you might not expect. Some of Japan's youngest billionaires are shaking things up. They're more willing to stand in the spotlight, using social media to build personal brands. This new generation of wealthy Japanese are also more globally minded. They're not just expanding their businesses internationally, but also their lifestyles. From owning homes in multiple countries to collecting global art, they're bringing a more cosmopolitan flavor to Japan's upper echelons. However, this shift towards a more visible wealth comes with its own set of challenges. In a society that has long valued modesty and discretion, these more outspoken billionaires often face public scrutiny and criticism. It's a delicate balance between embracing global business practices and respecting traditional Japanese values. Looking to the future, Japan's wealthy elite are at a crossroads. On one hand, they're tasked with maintaining Japan's position as a global economic powerhouse in the face of rising competition from countries like China and India. On the other, they're grappling with domestic issues like an aging population and the need for economic reforms. Many are turning to technology as the solution. Japan's rich are investing heavily in artificial intelligence, robotics, and biotechnology, hoping these fields will provide the breakthrough Japan needs to rejuvenate its economy. There's a growing sentiment that the next generation of Japanese billionaires will emerge from these cutting-edge sectors. As we wrap up, consider this. In a world that often equates wealth with flashiness, Japan's super-rich offer a different perspective. Theirs is a world where true luxury is invisible to the untrained eye, where wealth whispers rather than shouts, and where the richest person in the room might be the one you least expect. The story of Japan's ultra-wealthy is one of contrasts, between tradition and innovation, between global ambition and cultural discretion. It's a world that few get to see, but one that shapes the destiny of one of the world's most influential economies. So the next time you visit Japan, take a closer look. Behind the simple facade of a local shop, or in the quiet corner of a high-end restaurant, you might just be brushing shoulders with one of Japan's elusive super-rich. In the land where wealth hides in plain sight, the biggest fortunes are often held by the most unassuming hands. And that, dear viewers, is the discreet, fascinating, and often surprising world of Japan's super-rich. A world where wealth meets tradition, where luxury is an art form, and where the true markers of affluence are often invisible to the naked eye. It's a world that continues to evolve, balancing the weight of tradition with the winds of global change. As Japan moves forward into an uncertain future, one thing is clear. Its ultra-wealthy will play a crucial role in shaping the country's destiny. Whether they choose to remain in the shadows or step into the limelight, their influence on Japan's economy, culture, and global standing is undeniable. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery into the hidden world of Japan's super rich. Remember, in Japan, true wealth is often found in the spaces between, in the silences, in the subtleties, and in the art of understatement. Until next time, keep your eyes open. In Japan, you never know what riches might be hiding just beneath the surface.